Hello, everyone. And you all have been wanting this, but I'm here with what if the Fantastic Four were in the Infinity Saga. Phase 2. I'm sorry I've kept you all waiting for Phase 2, but I'll make sure this is worth the wait. Let's begin, shall we? The first movie will be Iron Man 3. It's the same movie, except Trevor Slattery will be replaced with Wen Wu, the real Mandarin. And Ultrich Killing would be replaced with Victor Von Doom. And we would get a cameo from the Fantastic Four. Like, maybe instead of Iron Man telling the events of the film to Hulk, maybe he would have been telling it to Reed Richards, who would not have been falling asleep. Neither would Sue and Johnny, or even Ben. The after credits scene would show Doom, who survived the events of the film, now with a burnt face, as in the comics, getting a hand on one of Iron Man's suits, and then he would smile. And this would set up Doctor Doom and the Doombots for the future. Next movie is Thor: The Dark World. It's the same movie, except Reed would be diagnosing like the reality stone, and Jane and how it can be taken out of her so that it wouldn't fall under the hands of the Dark Elves, who also would have Malekith would have more of a backstory, and it would be kind of like in the comics where he was sold into slavery after the death of his brothers and uncles, and then he was freed by a wizard, killed the wizard, killed the slaves, and killed his mother, who abandoned him. He also would have killed the person that was in charge of the slavery. And of course, Enchantress would replace Curse as Malekith's apprentice. And her goal would be to have Thor be at her side so they could kill Malekith. But obviously that would not work out well in the end. Next movie is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's the same movie because it's phenomenal. No changes whatsoever. Next movie is Guardians of the Galaxy. Same movie, except Galactus would be name dropped. And, of course, Silver Surfer. Next movie is Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's basically the same film, except this would be the introduction of Scott Lang, and Cassie would appear as well as Scott's friends. And in terms of Bill Foster, he'd be switched out with Reed Richards. As for the villains would be Ghost and Black Ant. Well, Black Ant, his storyline is that he's a more evil Hank. He kind of has a similar life to Hank, but unlike Hank, who was loved by everyone, Eric was bullied and was frequently abused by his father. And when he took his own version of the Pym Particles, he sneak attacked and killed his father. At one point during the film, he kidnaps Henry Jr. and Cassie, thus Hank and Scott team up to take down Eric O'Grady. And remember how Yellow Jacket died in Ant-Man? Well, at the time, yeah, that would happen to Eric O'Grady. Like, the Pym Particles would start to go haywire until, boom, he just goes kaboom, dead. It wouldn't be a brutal death because reasons. And yeah, the quantum realm plot gets less significance. Next movie is Fantastic Four Doomsday. Doctor Doom would serve as the villain in this movie, and the plot is kind of similar to Fantastic, just more akin to the train cut. And the Doombots would have been made from the Iron Man suits. Tony Stark would also be in this film, and he wouldn't be Iron Man back yet, but after Pepper gets kidnapped by one of the Doombots, and Wizard, who would be played by Ian McShane, Tony comes out of retirement as Iron Man so they can save Pepper, and Doom would be defeated in the end, by being sent to the negative zone. And at the end, Reed and Sue get married. There would be an after credit scene setting up Doom's return. Next movie is Avengers Age of Ultron. It's the same movie except when Ultron was initially made, Tony would hope that Ultron wouldn't go bad like the Doombots. Thus, the events of the previous movie, Fantastic Four Doomsday, would be addressed in this film a lot. However, his hopes are proven wrong, and this gives Tony PTSD from when Pepper gets kidnapped. And of course, Iron Man would be the one to destroy Ultron instead of Vision. Or more likely it would be both Iron Man and Vision. It doesn't really matter. Next movie is Black Widow. It's the same film except it takes place after Age of Ultron. And that's all I have to say, honestly. Oh. And the after credit scene involving Natasha's grave would be cut. And instead it would be more of a setup for Civil War because I'm just going to say Taskmaster would have escaped. And Taskmaster's return would be set up. As Taskmaster decided to be his own thing, separate from General Dreykov. Nah, that's it for Phase 2. I've got Phase 3 set up for November. Apparently I was going to release my first Lilo and Stitch What If, but it's getting pushed back to November. I don't know when, but soon. Anyways, see you all later.